Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by TheLines.com. I'm your host, Nate Weitzer. I'm going to be flying solo today. Josh Lander will be back on tomorrow, and we'll be back on full time by the end of the week as we continue to bring you best bets and player props each and every weekday through the regular season into the playoffs. Like and subscribe. You'll see as soon as these picks come up, we give you four best bets and four player props, but today I'm just bringing you two each without my co-host here. Mo Noir did a great job filling in last week. We finished the week strong. I got both player props on Friday. We'll try to keep it going here. I really do like this first pick here. Deni Avdija over 21.5 points and rebounds with the Wiz at Utah. This game could be played at a very fast pace. I mean, the Wizards lead the league in pace over the last 2 weeks and post All-Star break. Jazz are playing at a 102.5 pace in their last three at home versus 98 on the road. Jazz are going to be without Walker Kessler and Lauri Markkanen here. Two of their best rebounders, biggest guys, but big reason they are a top 10 rebounding team. So that opens opportunities up. Avdija will not be working against like rookie Taylor Hendricks. And then the Jazz bench is basically just guards and wings like Taylor Horton Tucker and a few guards coming off the bench. Luka Samanic is the one big they're bringing off the bench, and he has a 120 defensive rating. He's very slow of foot. Avdija is much, much quicker than him. And he's been balling out his last 10 games, 19.5 points, 9 rebounds, 50% splits, 33 minutes per game. He's getting 16.7 rebound chances for a Wiz team that's going pretty small. I like Marvin Bagley rebounds on Friday. Don't hate it here as well. But Avdija, I think, is going to score 15-plus points. I mean, we faded him on the second night of a back-to-back on Friday because he played 43 minutes in OT against the Lakers. He still almost got this prop. He went 14-5-5 in just 26 minutes against the Clippers, a much more stout defensive team than what we're talking about here in terms of the Utah Jazz. You know, two teams that are playing for the future, playing a lot of young guys. And like I said, with that Jazz lineup, like we see physical forwards, Jimmy Butler go for 37, Paolo go for 29, Jalen Johnson go for 22 and 13 recently against this Utah Jazz team. So love the opportunity to attack them without two of their bigs in the lineup. I think this game will be up and down, lots of stats to go around, and that's why love Avdija. I'd say it's a unit and a half bet for me because the second one is a little scarier. James Harden as a boom bust guy, I'd say maybe half a unit on James Harden over 24.5 points assists, but maybe a quarter unit on him to get a double-double because that's why we're tacking on the assists. He is always a threat for that 10 dimes or more. And I don't know if we're respecting Milwaukee's defense as much as the numbers might indicate. I mean, they're certainly better under Doc Rivers, and they're certainly better at defending the rim. That I don't know if that means you shut down James Harden, who isn't necessarily trying to get to the rim all the time right now. He's trying to facilitate, and he's a boom bust guy because like, will his step back threes go down? That's what we're watching basically. I will say he's shooting 45% from deep against the Eastern Conference this year, and that's led to 18.5 points. 8.8 assists with a 133 offensive rating. Milwaukee is historically a team that will kind of live or die with those deep threes, those above the break threes that Harden loves to shoot. He did go for about 30 and 9 in three straight against this Milwaukee defense when they were much better, when they had Drew Holiday, etc. When he was with Philly, and then he posted a dud at the end of last season. It was game 78, whatever. I mean, we have seen with Harden, unless he's facing a truly elite defense or a bottom-feeding team, he's going way over this prop. Boom bust guy, again, like he's getting like 25 and 10, going way over 25 points and assists. The unders have come against elite Ds like Wolves twice, the Thunder, the Cavs, or bottom teams, the Pistons twice, Grizz, etc. And the situation for the Clips, they're on a back-to-back here. Kawhi just played... He just scored 32 on 26 field goal attempts. He had a 39% usage rate to beat the Wolves yesterday. And Harden 0 for 10 from the field, 4 points, 10 assists. It's not like he's been in a prolonged slump. He was 17 for 29 his previous two, 58% from the field. He is playing well on back-to-backs. He does get this average, 16.5 points, 7.8 assists. But I think with Kawhi carrying such a huge load and with PG still dealing with multiple injuries, Ty Lue's got to have more of an emphasis of trying to run some things through Harden, especially in this matchup, right? I mean, the Bucks, their defense is better, specifically down low, like I said, with Brook and Giannis packing the paint. Their defense at the point of attack is still nowhere near what it was the last couple of years. Dame and Malik Beasley are liabilities basically out there. Harden should be able to get past them, get his shot off. They're in their 5 wins here. I mean, two against Charlotte. Come on, and then the Bulls after a double overtime game against the Cavs, and the Sixers as they were mired in the slump. Like, there's not a lot to really respect about the defense they've been able to play to shut down these teams, and they did give up some horrendous numbers in terms of assists and threes against the Heat and Grizz right before the All-Star break. So I'm not saying like this is totally going to yo-yo back and the Bucks are going to be awful defensively in this game. Like, I'm not hammering it over or anything. I'm just saying the Clippers offense is good enough and with Harden distributing, to get like 25 assists against this team, to hit maybe 13, 14 threes. That's what they're averaging on the road. Clippers 14 threes at 41% on the road since February 1st. And like, no Chris Middleton. The Bucks are giving up the 4th most points to point guards in their last 30. I just think they haven't faced a guy quite of this caliber, or, they haven't faced a guy who's the 3rd option, but can also distribute on this level. Like, this ain't Trey Mann, who, bless his heart, is stepping into a bigger role, and they were able to shut him down along with Charlotte. But like, James Harden is the guy who can get into the teeth of this defense and then distribute, get his dimes, and it's plus 180 for the double-double. I will say that's where the quarter unit comes in. Maybe you just want to sprinkle on that rather than taking the chance that he has a bust game, like he went 0 for 10 yesterday versus the Boom. But yeah, I mean, he could go 2 for 11, get enough free throws to get you 10 and 10, and then you get that plus 180. So love the Avdija bet, like this Harden bet. That is all the time we have for you here in Player Props. Also got best bets up, 2 picks for you in that one. Check it out, like and subscribe to see every time a video comes up. And until we see you next, happy betting.